Hey folks, you're at OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the Veepeak VP13. This is an LED motion sensor light, which also includes a magnetic strip on the back, which allows you to stick it onto any surface, mount it onto a wall or furniture, and then when motion has been detected, the LED lights will come on. It's very bright. The housing is also constructed out of aluminum, so it's pretty sturdy. You can, of course, also use it as a traditional reading light or a torch in darker environments. This product sells on Amazon for about $15. You can get it for lower as well in street price by some vendors, and if you get it on eBay, it can also be a bit cheaper. But all in all, a pretty nice price to pay, I guess, for a rather well-working and a decent LED light that has that motion sensing capability on board. In terms of specifications, you can see that this one has the daylight white. There's also another one with a warm white tone, so the LEDs seem to be a bit different as well, depending on what version that you get. The voltage, again, uses 4 AAA batteries. That is one of the concerns that we did have. There isn't an AC port, so you can't just directly plug it into the wall. It does take a rather large amount of batteries for such a small, portable kind of torch form-factored LED light. But luckily, LEDs are very energy efficient, so that should last you for about a year and a half before you need to replace it with some continuous usage. Brightness is 80 lumens, and the wattage is 0.6 watts. Some basic info on the sides. There are 10 LEDs, so 5 on each side, which produces a rather even glow, and the sensing distance for the motion is 3.3 feet, so a pretty good, wide sensing range there. And there's also an angle of 115, so the life expectancy there, again, you can see that LEDs should last for about 50,000 hours before they go out. Basic info on the sides, you can see that range again, 120 degrees, pretty wide, so as long as you're in that field of view, it should notice that your movement and turn on. In the box, there's access to the light itself. We'll take a look at that in a moment. There's also a user manual, pretty well documented, shows off the various features, how to set things up, and so on and so forth. And finally, there's just the unit itself. No batteries are included, so we have brought our own. And taking a close look at the construction, again, it is made out of aluminum, so it feels pretty solid and sturdy. It's also fairly compact as well for a 10 LED light slash torch. The front, this is where the sensor actually is housed, and that has, again, that pretty wide angle field of view for noting if there's any movement that's being detected. You can see that this is a position for the batteries, which has a pretty easy to open door on the side. The top and bottom are made out of plastic, and there's no other on-off switch. So as long as batteries are in place, it's basically continuously going to be on. We kind of wish there was an option to, turn it on or off, maybe to save some extra power when you don't want to use it, but unfortunately, that's something that's not here. Perhaps the company could work on that in the next generation model. The back features the aforementioned magnetic plate, which basically is just a magnet but has a 3M tape that you can peel off and then seal onto any surface for a more permanent setup. And the back is, so there we go. We shook it around and put our hands in front of it, and it realized that there was movement and the light has been turned on. So as long as there's a bit of movement around it, it's going to continuously be on, and after, I would say, a minute or so of inactivity, it's going to automatically dim itself and turn off. So pretty accurate as far as that is concerned. You can get a little bit further, and it still seems to work pretty well. There's not too much of a delay with that sensor. As you can see here, the lights are indeed quite bright. There are 5 on each side, which creates this pretty even effect. It definitely is something that can be used, again, as maybe a night light or even for reading ebooks. It shows off things quite well, even with the lights dimmed or turned off. You can see that it has a pretty good glow to it, not too synthetic, not too harsh, and again, it seems to work pretty well. So obviously this competes with things like USB LED lights that we've also seen recently, but this one offers that extra motion sensing capability, so perhaps better for mounting onto a cupboard or onto a wall. To learn more details about this particular unit, you can check out our full written review, but this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the Veepeak VP13 LED motion sensing light.